Alright everyone, welcome back to Kona. So, I've actually played a little bit more of this, but what happened was my microphone wasn't recording properly. I've been having some mic issues. Anyway, I didn't get too far, so fortunately because I had that previous save, I was able to just kind of get caught up really quickly to where I was, and hopefully that's the case. I hope this works out just perfectly. Oh goodness, it's just acting weird. I'm just gonna keep recording a bit. We'll save though. So there's another house to check out. Come on. It's so hard to see. Everything's so white. I don't know what's road. God. Probably gonna edit out all this trying to leave. Go. Alright, so we are going to head to another house. It's the Blade house. Get out here. Sorry, it's just the capture footage isn't recording correctly. Okay, there's no mail. Okay, so while I was using my other save to get caught up, I did some things a little differently. I just explored a bit more. There wasn't really anything important. So just to show you from inventory here, I do have this talisman. I don't know what it's for. It may just be like a collectible. We got a wired magnet, which you need to get the talisman. And you got the map here. So basically, yeah. So there's more fire places right there. And there's the cave. There, you can't really do anything in the cave. It's blocked off. And I also found another treasure map. Because I couldn't remember if I recorded it or not. Sorry, wrong. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Okay, so there's the first one. Got the second one there. And then we'll get the third one in a little bit. Let's just move forward here. Down this road is the Blay house, where Martin lives.
A wintry atmosphere surrounded the house. The soundlessness of the area suggested it was empty.
Okay. So again, inventory is still full on that. a lone boot.
When finding a boot, one wonders what became of the foot. The key, which seemed to be meant for a padlock, bore an inscription reading Cloutier et Fils. A company name. Better keep an eye open. Businesses weren't exactly numerous around these parts.
Someone ran out of time packing his luggage. Get all warmed up here.
Money in a jar. What a shame. Carl would have loved cookies.
Oh, come on. Right, nothing really there but cigarettes, which I don't need.
The spirograph amused Carl. It was a nice modern toy, aside from being repetitive by nature and completely useless. Still, it found its way into many Quebecois homes.
This furniture has been moved several times. My sweet Marie, please excuse my handwriting. I am in a hurry. I have to leave for North Maniston with Mom and Mrs. Roy, as they say it's far too dangerous around here these days. I don't know much about what's going on, because Mom won't tell me anything in an attempt to reassure me, but all I know is she has the exact same expression on her face as when I startle her. Dad and Mr. Roy aren't coming because they have gone to get Mr. Lachance. They're real heroes. My grandmother lives in a very big house in North Maniston. You would be welcome there. I must go now, quite literally. Your friend, Martin. Yeah, they kind of fancy themselves as Romeo and Juliet, so they probably said that a lot, but he's like, no, I really have to go now. Just monotony of exploring. Oh, newspaper. Over the last few days, a lack of resources forced the death investigation of Parabole to come to a halt. The autopsy of the body, conducted over the last few weeks, didn't reveal any clue that could have helped the investigators, who refused to comment on what would happen next. This new development is happening in the context of the hypothesis of an accident, which is still, in spite of skepticism expressed by the local population, the ongoing official cause of death provided by the... I did not mean to do that. Provided by the authorities. The incident is said to have occurred in the forest surrounding Lake Atamapek. Parabole was found lifeless 2 weeks ago, near a footpath leading to the soon-to-be restarted copper mine. Blay, an engineer by training who was working on behalf of the consortium headed by William Hamilton, was reportedly in charge of the development plans surrounding the reopening of the mine. At first, police had disclosed that the body had been desecrated. Today, the official version is that it was partly devoured by beasts, hence the original assumption that a crime had been committed. So it seems like wolves fed on it. A bit of reading to pass the time.
A pay stub for some undoubtedly harsh lumberjack work. Alexandre Blais felled trees and chopped woods for Cloutier et Fils.
It's very small homes. Toy. They were watching TV before they left. In such a hurry they didn't even turn it off. Evidence. Is that like clue? Le jeu détective. Le monster. Monsters associated with the wolves, it seems. Impossible creation for mechanical drawing toy. I've seen some pretty impossible stuff with those things. I fear the worst for Alexander. He hardly gets any sleep. I thought it was the work, but it seems to be far worse than that. From dusk till dawn, he stares into the void. He barely speaks to me. His son asked him to play the ball, and he didn't say a word. And that way he was to glance at the window. Last night, I heard him mumble in his sleep. "He's coming," he murmured. I don't know why, but those words left a deep impression on me. He woke up shortly after, covered in sweat. He couldn't remember his dream, obviously. He didn't go back to sleep after that, chain smoking the night away over the window. He told me to pack my things this morning. I wonder why. Does he himself know? We're waiting, but for what? I think I feel dread. Okay, there's no other pages, even though it says to change the page. Oh, no, turn it back on. Okay, there we go. Only the tormented minds smoke in bed.
A window left open in that weather? Perhaps something had to be watched. Okay, it's a wolf that somehow knows how to open doors. That's just fine. Okay, so we got that key now. Just want to see if there's anything back here. I don't think so. Alright. So we got that key, which goes to that shack that we couldn't open earlier. Come on, load. No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. Maybe it was that one.
No, it was. Okay, I misremembered. No, it wasn't. Okay, alright. Let's hop out here.
Welcome to Alibaba's Cave, Lumberjack Edition. Surely Carl would find something worth his time in here.
Got some flares. Key. To Paul and Jean-Pierre. Don't forget to return the key for the cabin if you have to use it. Thank you. Your supervisor. P.S. The next bus for Chibougamau will be October 12th. Next one is 2 weeks later. Alright, so we got that forest cabin key, and I'm not sure what it's for. I didn't find out. It would be too cumbersome to carry around. Okay. Anything else of interest? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Let's get back in. So I'm not sure where that cabin key goes. I have no idea. I never found it. Come on.
There was only void where the road should be. Carl hated dead ends. He felt trapped. It was as if the road had drowned in the lake. He would have to find help by another route. The track was fresh. That meant the car sunk down just a little while ago. Now where the hell could the passengers possibly have gone?
It's the other boot. A lone boot.
Right until that point, Carl had believed that the object of this crossbow hunting had been a ravenous wolf who was terrorizing the village. But as he noticed the height at which the bolts had been fired, he concluded that the beast had to have been as tall as a man on his feet, not unlike a gorilla. The thought was chilling.
And there's nothing. Great. The manual owner seems to be Wilfred Roy.
Someone must have dropped this in a hurry, but whoever did was heading into the woods. Carl's tracking instincts were quickly kicking in.
Okay. So there's the shack. Part of me has to... Where was the... treasure map. So up there. Don't want to get too close to that. But it is somewhere along here.
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
There it is. Okay. So next, we have to go over. Okay. All right, so let me see the journal here. Because I had... Damn it. I was having such a difficult time when I was initially recording this, trying to figure out what to do next. So eventually I looked up... So in here, I need to head north. My investigation will not be complete without taking a look at Hamilton's Lodge. But the road has caved in, and I can't really picture myself walking all these miles. I need a warm coat, a proper mode of transportation, guns and ammunition, find out how to get rid of the big wall of ice that came out of nowhere. So that's what we need to do. And apparently, we can head over here. I need to turn around and do that. So that's what we'll do. Where is my car? There it is. Because I was just looking forever, and eventually I looked it up, and then I realized, oh, you can actually go to those houses on the west side. Okay. So that's what we'll do. Because otherwise I was just wandering, basically getting nowhere. Let it load. So yeah, down here. So I've never been down here before, so first time for both of us. So much loading. Goodness. You can probably get warmed up here. Dr. Beaupre's clinic. So he should be... This is the doctor that was overseeing The Bedard's pregnancy. Kept it in the mailbox. That's safe.
The cold was burning Carl. He would not hold up much longer. He had to warm himself.
Medical emergency
There
in
should
town.
be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick.
They're human. The doctor there is sick. I'll be back soon. If he dies, I won't be returning. I'll have to replace him. Okay. So, he left.
In spite of Dr. Beaupre's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop.
I've never been in here. So let's get warmed up a bit. Isabelle Beaupre? Oh, his wife? That was the doctor's car. But where did the doctor go? Here lies Isabelle Beaupre. That explains the melancholy of the poem behind the picture. So I don't really want to spend too much time on this. On the journal. Okay.
For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go.
Okay, let's see.
Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office.
Okay, that's a bit much. My nightmare on the scale. Yep, same. I wouldn't mind the number so much if the body was okay. The doctor's apparently fascinated by history. Earth doesn't look this big from here. It is, in terms of the universe, it probably isn't that big. We're not going to open up the doctor's... Oh.
Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident.
Here,
Someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident.
let me see.
In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead. Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident. Someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident. In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead. The good doctor, flanked by his beautiful spouse. Pure happiness, captured on cardstock. Carl recognized this woman's soulful eyes. Was it Dr. Beaupre who had hit him head-on at the village border?
Yeah, that's the picture we found.
The injured could be recognized by the large stains of red, an informal nickname given to Merbromen, smudged all over their injuries. Doctors used light-reflecting frontal mirrors to look inside the patient's cavities.
Oh, that's what
That
that's
was a
for.
bit unsettling. But back then, it was pretty much always the case with medicine.
They don't need that now because technology has progressed. I never did quite catch her name. The man called her Laura, so she had a neck wound. There was so much blood. The bullet had done a lot of damage, probably hitting the cerebellum. It was hopeless. She had a cardiac arrest. The men had found her like this, they said. I doubt it. But in a small town like this, it's usually best to turn a blind eye. I've been told to step back from sending out the death certificate. This whole thing sickens me. Yeah, totally. They totally found her like that. Rosaire Armand? No medical explanation whatsoever can explain why old Rosaire is still alive. As we in the trade say, the only way to cure him is to kill him. What does that mean? This file seems incomplete. Who is this Cree woman and what happened to her? Everything points to certain death, but no death certificate. I'm no doctor, but I know fresh blood when I see it. Someone bled profusely in this office less than 2 days ago. Nothing weird about that unless... Huh. So, seems like they killed a Cree woman. One of the natives nearby.
Dr. Beaupre had done his medical studies quite far from here. He was surely one of the first students out of the new campus to settle on the mountainside.
Seems to enjoy the kind of quiet mountain life, I guess.
A communist manifesto.
Okay.
Only a few years ago, this type of allegiance meant prison time. And even at present, the Western world was very wary of the Soviet threat. Why would the doctor own such a book?
Yeah, this was during the Cold
Nobody kills a
War.
rich patient to start a revolution. It didn't make any sense. He had to dig deeper still to understand. Luckily, that was Carl Faubert's specialty.
The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. Freeman and slave, patrician and plebeian, lord and serf, guildmaster and journeyman, in a word, oppressor and oppressed, stood in constant opposition to one another, carried on an uninterrupted, now hidden, now open fight, a fight that each time ended either in a revolutionary reconstitution of society at large, or in the common ruin of the contending classes. In the earlier epochs of history, we find almost everywhere a complicated arrangement of society into various orders, a manifold gradation of social rank. In ancient Rome, we have patricians, knights, plebeians, slaves. In the Middle Ages, feudal lords, vassals, guildmasters, journeymen, apprentices, serfs. In almost all of these classes, again, subordinate gradations. Okay. Interesting bit of reading there.
A chamber pot. Fortunately for Carl, inspecting it wouldn't further this particular investigation.
Yeah, probably for patients. Unlocking a door isn't enough. Is it just another door that leads outside? Please use the other door. Is SVP like s'il vous plaît? I just know that's French for please, that's all. Some tape. Okay. So it looks like we got a bit of a murder happening here. Could the danger be a curse of some sort? I don't know. So let's see, what else is there? And what was the other... I'm gonna find that later. Just want to take a look at it now. The treasure map. No! Wrong document. Okay. was, maybe it might be behind the Blaze house. I think we're not too far from it. Okay, well, I'm going to double check, make sure everything recorded just fine. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time with more Kona.